Everyone, welcome to episode 237 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh. Today we have a really great house, brand new construction that just hit the market. I think it was last Friday when you and I went and toured it because it just showed up, and it is over at 419 West 9th Street over in Bishop's Art District, walking distance. You are going to be excited about this one.
And in our second segment today, we are going to talk about why townhomes are such a great investment.
They really are.
They really are.
Coming out of the ground like crazy right now, so we thought, let's look into this, do a little deep dive. Deep dive. Are you surviving this heat? Because it's 108 right now.
Barely. This is, so from between July 29th and August 14th are the hottest days normally that Texas deals with. So we've got 2 weeks
of hell.
Then after that, hopefully it'll calm down a little bit.
And it's always funny to me because I think August is over, or September should be nice and cold, and it is not. It does not happen that fast. Well, one of the things we like to do now is talk about some of the things that we've seen on social media over the last 7 days. And it's really interesting because my feed has changed dramatically as I've started saving things. And it was interesting because a couple of weeks ago we talked about some of 3D printing homes that were happening down in Pflugerville. And then this showed up in my feed, and it was talking about the actual first 3D printed homes happened in the United States.
Interesting.
That was in the 1930s, and the inventor of this process was William E. Urschel, and the company is still in business today. They actually now have kind of transitioned into more of a food assembly company. And here you can see that they made everything from bomb shelters to this giant, I would call this a barn. But yeah, this is the very, very first one, started in the 1930s.
Interesting.
Isn't that cool?
Do you know that, I'm going to throw us off track here a minute, but did you know that Ebby Halliday got her start selling concrete houses?
No way.
Absolutely. Right off of Marsh and Clover, there onto the western side of Marsh Lane, there are 3 streets in there that have concrete houses. Espanola, I can't remember what there's 2 other streets there. And the developer at the time came to Ebby, who was selling hats, and said, if you can sell hats, I'll let you try to sell my concrete houses. And that was how she got her start in real estate.
We're going to drive over there and take pictures of these houses for next week's show.
I used to live in one of them.
You're kidding?
Nope, sure did.
Really? And you are just now bringing that up?
3611 Espanola. I know. After... hey, you got to keep relationships fresh.
Wow. Well, just when I thought I knew you'd pull something like that. All right. So moving on. What are the other things that I thought was really interesting? Because I feel like interior walls are either torn down or they're in a situation where you need to have a new and fresh way to interpret them. And storage is important. And I felt like this lady did a great job. Here we see a house with a wall typical for a dining room kitchen transition. We've all seen it, and this is a really great idea.
It really is. And you put the cabinets in place, frame them in. It gives you a lot more storage space, but it also adds like a very finished, expensive feel to that area. Because
the cabinet itself becomes basically the wall, and it's that thickness that Jeff's talking about that typically right there that we see in like multi-million dollar homes. So this is a great concept. If you decide to do this, let us know. We want to talk to you, and we actually want to maybe do a little segment with you. It would be really interesting.
And if you have any interest in exploring this more, one of the links that we've put in here is to Seconds and Surplus, who has a kitchen design service that they do. We've used it before, and they do a really great job.
It is quick. The product is dead on. Ships directly to you, or you can pick it up. Get it in the paint grade and get to work. It is quick and simple. The other thing that we wanted to point out that I thought was really interesting is a company called Gray Winds. They create motorized shades, and I think my biggest draw on this product was the fact that so many times we have townhomes that have really high windows, and if you don't have electricity pre-wired, you cannot make your shades go up and down. And they have figured out how to make them attach to a solar panel that just charges. And you can see right here, she shimmies right up there, connects it, installs, and there's your solar panel. And then it allows it to connect to your Alexa.
Yeah, I love this product. Love this product. I can see a lot of places. I know a lot of friends that I'm going to send this to because they've got windows that are high up that, they'll get up there and dust it every once in a while and change the position of the shade. But, to have to change it on a daily basis is a pain.
But the other thing, 100% on that, but also can you imagine how you could create a much more energy efficient house is if at 5 o'clock every afternoon you had Alexa go ahead and drop your shades. This is a good product.
Yeah.
Take a look at this one.
And we've got a link in there where to buy them on Amazon. One of the other things we're going to talk about today is that the watering restrictions are in place in the city of Dallas now. Most municipalities have them. It's really an easy way to know if the last digit of your house is a 02468. You get a Sunday and Thursday watering schedule. The odd numbers are going to be Saturday and Wednesday. And if you've got no house numbers, you're going to do Sunday and Thursday like the even people.
So what's so funny is that I was like, oh, we probably should talk about this, Jeff, because it just started. And you're like, no, this started in April. And I was like, well, whatever. That's a lot of great information. Let us know what you think. Check out the links below and give us a thumbs up. Now let's take a look at this really cool house.
No, let's talk about Market Watch first.
Market Watch. Dang. Thank you, Zach, and Jeff for being on top of this. Tell us about markets.
So what we do is we look at comparing week to week in Dallas County every week. And our first status that many property goes into in MLS is called coming soon. We have some really crazy rules in MLS about what is it called? Something cooperation, clear cooperation. It's just stupid. But coming soon status is the first status in MLS. Those are down about 10%. There were still 78 coming soon listings. New active listings, which listings can come directly into MLS into an active status. Those are down 4% to 432. And then the first status that a contract goes into once you're under contract is usually an option period. And that is the period where the buyer gets to do their inspections, make sure they're comfortable condition. Those are up 5% last week to 297 in Dallas County.
And then once buyers and sellers have agreed to all portions of the contract, we move into the pending status, and we're just waiting for this thing to wrap itself up. That's down 3% to 145 units. And then solds, look at that. Solds is up 22%, 408. Now, let's take this into consideration because we're at the end of the month, and that's typically when the majority of transactions go ahead and close. And so this is all a typical rhythm that we're seeing. Maybe July was a little bit slower because of the heat. I think we're about 22 or 23 days into these triple-digit weather. Also, school started an entire, 10, 15 days earlier. And so we are seeing a lot more people that pushed out in July to take vacations, escape the heat, get everything in before the August 9th start of all of the public schools here. So lots of things at play.
Yep. So let's jump into the property this week. I'm really excited to talk about this. This is 4119 West 9th Street, and we're going to talk and show you unit number 104. This is in Bishop Arts District. It is a wonderful location. I looked up the walk score on it. It has a 94-point walk score.
Who would have thought that Oak Cliff would have had a 94% walk score?
15 years ago? No.
It would have had a 10 at best. And this is really indicative of what is happening in this area. If you haven't been to the Oak Cliff in a while, it is really booming. There is development just about everywhere you turn, whether it's nice brand new apartments or whether it's these great townhomes that we're seeing coming in. A lot of people are seeing a surge in desirability to be here.
They are. One of the great things about it is the access to both I-35 and I-30. So you've got really good travelability going north-south or going east-west.
And our clients, a lot of the clients that first started living in here were like, let's just move into Stevens Park because we work in Arlington, we need to be into the mid-cities, and this is a great in-between place. Now this is a destination. If you're not from Dallas and you love Austin, but you can't handle the Austin traffic, call us because we're going to find you a place in the Cliff because it is exactly just like Austin.
So a couple of things in the neighborhood there that we wanted to point out to you. One is called Wild Detectives, and this is a bar, pub, food, family, bookstore, come and hang out on a Saturday afternoon. I have not been there yet. I've only heard about this, but I'm definitely going down there.
You have to go there and you need to watch their calendar of events because they do really cool live music there as well in the back. So like Sunday Fun Day has a whole different vibe. But the guys that created it were like, wanted to have a place where they could have a beer and read a book. Mm-hmm. And they have really created the perfect organic feel. And we were asking Zach, our producer, hey, Zach, have you been? He's like, no. And I said, you should go. He said, got you. So we'll see. He'll report back.
That last girl there looked like Carly.
Wow, my gosh. You're going to have to send that to her.
Uh-huh.
So the other thing over in this area, and really just down the street, is called Oak Cliff Pottery. And this is really great. The electrician that wired my kilns also did the wiring for this old house to create a place for all the different wheels to throw on and also for his kilns. It's just a really great place to have a unique experience, whether you're going to take a class or you want to buy. The owner of this is legit. If we go over to his website real quick, we're going to show you that you can take classes for kids, you can take couples classes. They are worth the time, very unique. If you want to know more about him, you can click on the About. He has a really amazing history. He has traveled abroad to Africa and throughout the world to learn more about how to make clay. He is really great.
Interesting. I'll have to try that.
You and Adrian should do it.
All right. And our last place today is Boulevardier.
I love Boulevardier. Boulevardier is also right around the corner in the Bishop's Art District. This is a great place. It's funny because you wouldn't think about going to the cliff for oysters. This is a place to go grab oysters. Check their menu and follow them because they do a lot of great things. I think one night a week they have half off price on steaks. They also do half price on wine. But my favorite thing to do is to go in here. They have an excellent hamburger. Get oysters and a hamburger on Saturday afternoon. This is the go-to. Jeff, let us know what you think.
I will. I'll try hamburger, but not the oysters.
They're really good. Zach, you said no?
Char-grilled oysters?
Louisiana. You have to eat them all the time. He is rolling. Ooh. What about gumbo, Zach?
Gumbo?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't care for them in gumbo. I'll eat them if they're in there, but that's about the only way.
You're kidding. Zach said no to oysters and gumbo. Who knew? All right. Well, let's keep it going. This is 419 West 9th Street. This is Unit 109. This place is amazing. I love the fact that it's not stucco and that it's not covered in siding. Plus, they have really great structural architecture with the way that cantilevers over the driveway. I thought that was really smart, the way they use the I-beams. It all worked for me on that first floor.
And it felt very rugged and very, very sturdy.
It did, because it
gives
didn't
you that just gives you that impression when you drive up to it. Love the floor plan. I rate a lot of condominiums and townhomes based upon how inventive and original the floor plan is. And this was definitely a 10 of 10.
They got the right placement with the windows. They did not skimp on countertop space. And the countertop space is great because it can be very versatile in some of these areas. And it was just laid out in the right color palette. Also, I am so excited not to see white cabinets. I think that I have seen enough white cabinets, and I think that this is a really nice, rich color. They're able to work with this color. You can't always go that deep because of the amount of windows that they have here.
And it's still, the color they've got is still a neutral enough color that you can go whatever direction on that color wheel you want.
Luxury vinyl flooring is amazing. These are the large planks done in a nice neutral wood. These are great. Some people may be like not sure about that, but I will tell you that if you are a pet owner, these are your best friend because you cannot destroy them. They have really upped the game on these, and they look just like wood floors. Great combination here. We went from the kitchen to the dining room or the living room into the kitchen, the seating area, and
little bar area there. I mean, they've really set this up for where it's a great entertainment home.
Again, we're going to talk about windows, and I think that it was smart for them to not get too cuckoo with some of the architecture, but pulling it in just there on the corner, putting windows on either side of that little kick-in gives you really great light, seating area, plus that is a slider that goes out onto a balcony, which I thought, that is really great.
It's great because you've got two outdoor spaces on this. We'll get to the second one in a minute, but I do like the fact that they I think they had to intentionally think about, hey, we need to create some outdoor space on this second floor and bring that in. And you've still got great flexibility with your furniture.
And I love the fact that they're using a lot more of these woods. Like not only was the wood there on the floor, but you see it here in the drum shade. These are just elements that just kind of work throughout, and you get a feel for how you're going to live in it. The master bedroom. Great windows. A lot of times they do not put a window above the headboard, and therefore it has like a window. This just has really great light and good closet space.
It does, and you know, the window placement here, I love the window placement here because it is not lined up with the building next door, which just drives me bananas to see, you know, units that are just like one after another cookie cutter, and these are not.
They're not. And you can see here what they did. Again, we're not looking at white cabinets. We've got white countertops. Great shower. I thought they did a great job both with the step up, and then they have a really nice, simple, high up bench there for all your soaps and shampoos. And welcome to the 4th floor.
This is another living area upstairs that can be used as an office space, study, whatever you want. And this is your rooftop view.
It is really great. So they're putting decking out there right now, which is really great. Also on the 4th floor, aside from this view that you have, which is really great of downtown, you also have actual walk-in storage. So if you've got additional things, Christmas trees, luggage, whatever you want, this has all you need for that.
So 419 West 9th Street, number 104, is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's got a 2-car garage, built in 23. It's about 1,860 square feet, priced at $625. And that's $335 a square foot, which for brand new construction in a great neighborhood like Bishop Arts is really a great value.
Absolutely. And so we want to say thank you so much to Daniel Quintana for allowing us to feature this home. If you want to see more images or zoom in and out on that map and check out that walk score Jeff was talking about, click on the link below. If you want to see it, let us know and we'd be happy to make that happen.
And we'll be right back. Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you missed the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. It's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second segment, episode 237, Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we thought we'd talk about why townhomes are such a great investment.
And they really are.
And they have really, in certain areas of Dallas, they have hit the ground like gangbusters. You know, I think at the beginning, we were seeing a lot of them in the Oak Lawn area, and then that lowest East Dallas side that I lived in by Manette and Capitol, that is still booming. But now, the Oak Cliff has, and the Cedars have just shifted gears.
They really have. And those areas of town were going to be a lot more dense anyway. But when they started building the townhomes, I think it really makes a difference down there, because they build so much quicker than single family homes. But you virtually live in a single family home.
You change that demographic and the number of people so fast. So suddenly your nightlife changes and you're walkable, people walking their dogs, and just everything happens. And so one of the things that this really jumps in and fills a niche that is really needed is affordability.
It does.
It is so hard to find single family homes at the same price and be comparable.
From many, it makes affordability from many factors. Maintenance is a lot overall a lot less because many times you're not dealing with the same amount of land that you would normally.
Right.
The cost of water has gone up exponentially, and you're not necessarily gonna have that much of a watering issue with many of the townhomes now.
You know, and maintenance is very interesting because so many of these are so new. And I always point out, because I came from new home sales, that the building sciences get better every year, and that changes in code, and then they catch on because people demand these things. And one of the things that made a huge difference, I think, in the last 10 years here is that cellulose blown insulation. And the 2x6 is literally creates almost like living in an igloo or like a cooler. It's just amazing. We had a 3,000 square foot townhome. And in July, the first year that we owned it, it was $187 to heat and cool it. It is night and day difference. So that's one way that you can really decrease your actual costs.
And another benefit of living in townhome communities is the amenities. Many times, if you're a single family home person and you want to have a pool, guess what? You've got to pay for that pool.
Exactly.
And many times people just want to have a pool to be around. And so living in a townhome community that has that really satisfies that, and you pay for it in a much different way than you do when you're the single family person paying for everything.
The other element that is really interesting is you are more likely in a townhome to get a rooftop with a view. And so you're trading that yard, but that yard can be seen as like something that I have to do. It can be seen as an ongoing expense. Some people just do not want that. And whereas a rooftop is really just to go hang out and enjoy and relax.
Yeah. It is, and even like the townhome we have listed for sale down in the farmers market, they've got gas and water plumbed all the way up to the rooftop.
That's a great point. I forgot.
So you can have pots out there with plants, and you can water, and you can have a gas grill, and not carry propane tanks up. And I mean it's significant.
It is much different than what your parents thought about. The other thing too is what is happening with the location. These locations are really jumping in and creating their epicenter adjacent, meaning they're close to like Uptown, they're close to West Village, they're close to Lois Greenville, but they're really creating their own dynamics because as you can see, like Bishop Art District, 10 years ago this wasn't here. And all of a sudden these shops can come in and backfill this because there is the density that has moved into this area. There are enough people on the regular to create capital that will keep them supported.
And living in townhome communities many times creates a community environment that you sometimes miss in single family developments because what we've seen many times is, especially when the garage is on the back, people drive in through the alleyway, they pull in the garage, they shut the door, and they never meet a neighbor.
Jeffrey used to live in a multifamily configuration downtown, and their community was amazing. They did everything from like have the Emmy watching party, and they would rent out the room downstairs in the bottom or reserve it. They did progressive dinners. It is a lot different than living in a single family neighborhood.
It really is. Security is another big thing that comes with townhomes. Many times the communities are going to be in gated communities. I love the ability that you can, with townhomes, a lot of times you've got that lock and leave, which a lot of people are looking for.
The other thing too, lastly, is going to be the demand. This is an interesting thing, and I don't know that this is the same in every market, but typically people are moving from West Village, and then they're going to typically buy a townhome in one of these areas. And people are always like, well, aren't they going to run out of people that are moving in? But if you think about the big schools that are in Texas and in the surrounding states, Texas, Houston, and Austin Dallas, Houston, Austin are the go-to cities typically for most of the graduates. And there's never been like a shrinking in the graduating class. So there is this like constant feeding of the cycle. So
absolutely.
We think it's here.
So if you have an interest in townhomes, reach out to us. We would be happy to share more detailed information with you. If there are any other topics that you want us to talk about, just click in the links below, leave us a note, give us a call, smoke signals, whatever it is.
And just remember, we want to be your realtors for life.